Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our Black Ridge series here in Banished. Now, a trader just arrived, and I have been working along the riverside, and we'll get to that here in a moment, but what I want to do is buy some potato seeds. We could buy some hops as well, technically, but we would have to pick one or the other, and I'm thinking potatoes because that's more food oriented. Hops is a little bit more if I was making ends and breweries right now. So we're gonna go with the potatoes, a nice hearty vegetable for people to eat. So let's go ahead and hit trade here, just like that. And now we have those seeds. So let's go straight into the episode here. There's a lot of stuff I want to do, so there might be a skip or two, and I want to try and finish up this town in one go, or at least get it to the point that we can start thinking about the next settlement about this big that's going to provide another resource for us in our wonderful civilization. So we have our first market here, and this is a gathering point for a bunch of resources and the town center, essentially. The upper half, of course, this section being a little bit more industrial. The docks and things are going to be continuing this episode. I want to try and start laying down foundation for the church so we can keep some happiness and service our people a little bit more better in the long run. We also have some additional decorative pieces here. We have some extra fisheries going in, some extra tidal pools. We got our dock workshop, which is currently making some rough tools because, as you can see, we have a tool shortage going on right now. We have some more reed farms going on just so that we can get more reeds for our wonderful, I think we're using it for, not for rope. We're using reed for something. I just can't remember what it was. Not town abode. Reed. I don't remember, but I'll remember soon enough. Anyways, I don't want to dwell on it too long. So we're going to make some more housing on this side of the river. We're going to make our first town hall as well. So we're just going to go ahead and start laying things out in the beginning of this episode. We'll keep things paused just so we can get a little bit higher FPS. And this side being a little bit more well developed than the other because the town square is here. In fact, I think that's probably something I want to build first, is a nice town square. So there's a mini town hall. Not really what I'm looking for there. Town arrival. That's pretty cool. That's a... I feel like that's something I could do like along the docks, to be honest, but the fact that it's a town hall is a little weird, but it does kind of end cap this dock area a little bit nicely. Can I get it? It's a little floaty. So what I'll do is I'll level the terrain just on these four. Alright, and we will grab the town hall for the dock arrival. Just like that. Now it's going to act like a town hall, but I'm using it technically a little bit more as a decorative piece. I just like the way that looks. So let's go ahead and pick out a proper town hall here. So village gazebo. You can only build one of these per se, by the way, so you can't keep reusing the same ones. So courthouse, no. Governor's office, no. Immigration office. Fantasy castle. Oh boy, it's tough to choose. Okay, let's... Where's the normal town hall? That's my question. I feel like it should be here. Oh, there it is. This is the normal one. And I think that's kind of fitting our theme the best at this very moment. So let's go ahead and align this the best that we can. And I think going over... Oh my goodness, where do I put this? It'd be kind of nice to put it there, to be honest. We could just build some docks kind of around the backside and make that work. Or we could just put it on this corner here. I think I'm liking this corner. Just like that. So there is our main townhouse, or town hall in that instance. We also, what I want to do is make a church, and this one's going to be a little bit smaller. So let's figure out what skin we want to use here. We can use a little chapel, possibly. Now I believe there might be a dock version as well. This is more like a proper church there. Parish. Colonial chapel. We got small town chapels. Medieval cathedral. And whoo! Wow, okay. That's kind of proper. I feel like the main bell tower is in the wrong spot. It's usually supposed to be over the nave and the apse cross section there. So that's a little off, but you know, I can't complain too much. It still looks pretty cool. I'm thinking maybe we can just put the church on this side where we were originally thinking for the town hall, and I think that's going to align there pretty well, to be honest. So we'll put that down, and let's go ahead and pick some homes that are going to fit the neighborhood. Possibly. What's this? This is a saltery. I'm gathering some salt from my rage. Let's get a few nicer homes. You know, these farm homes do look pretty nice. They're very village-esque. We could also go for just a medieval home around here. In fact, we could also do the first story kind of stuff. So this is kind of where the town might end. So let's go ahead and do this one. We haven't used this building yet, so we will do that. That's a nice section there. And then on its side, see, how does this line up? Okay, so floor number 1, we'll get as close as possible to it. And then floor number 2, let's find a cool variant. I think something like, let's get one with a porch so it kind of overhangs the road a little bit. That'll be pretty cool. We get corner house, which might be useful eventually. Let's see what the base house looks like. No, you know what? I'm fine with it just like that. I mean, that's going to provide a lot of homes. We'll also have to think about possibly getting some more different production facilities over here in the long term. So besides salt, we could do creates furniture, cooper, creates barrels, statue carver, gem cutter, bedding, tannery, linen weaver. I feel like I already have a tannery. Let's quickly pop over to our first town. Yeah, we do. So it's taking 1 leather, 1 salt. Yeah, so, you know, we'll go ahead and make one person into a tanner because we're going to need this eventually. And now that we have the salt works under construction, we'll actually be able to create some leather. And in fact, I'm pretty happy about that. Let's go with a cool looking firewood yard, I think. Just right there along the storage. Because we're going to need a lot more firewood here soon. Especially since we're getting a lot more homes. And we will have to get... I think I might have to go from there and just work on the dock for a little while. So we'll hit play. I'm just going to sit at ×2 speed. I don't want anything happening too quickly for us. We kind of need 31 builders right now. And that might take a little while for things to be constructed. Especially since the actual school is up and running right now, and that's going to be a little bit of a problem. So let's work on the dock a little ways, and we will do that by, let's go straight into these items again. We already have the dock workshop. Rice wine still. I mean, as cool as this thing is, it doesn't really work. We don't have any rice or anything like that, and I would like to have a rice planter. But sadly, this thing takes up a lot of water space. So that's not going to really work out for us. So we might have to do some dock homes. And these are kind of the upgraded homes from before. And we can run some things along here and make it look decent, I think. So let's do something like that, and a herb mender at the end. Alright. Now I have to wait for those to be built so I can actually see where we're laying down the dock work itself. That's going to connect here and go all the way around. We're getting some weird flashing at certain angles at this thing, but not much I can do about it. I did put some key kind of elements underneath that building just so it looked a little bit more shoreline appropriate. Oh, look! Cargo being shipped around, people moving, working. We have plenty of food currently. We can support a little bit more people, for sure. And we will go into 5 times normal speed. Let's go ahead and get rid of this trader. We don't really have a use for him anymore. We get our seeds from him. The next town we'll make will be a farming town of some kind, I think. And we'll provide a lot of the food for the area and region. We'll have to figure out where exactly we will want to put that, but hopefully that'll turn out well. I do like this. The town arrival kind of caps off the dock nicely. Now, we could go with some ghost items, potentially, just to round it all off. You know, we could have a wagon here, just full of supplies. Maybe even the smaller variant as well. Let's see, what do I want them to be carrying? Let's go with a casket of ale. That does look pretty cool. Could even go for a possible lift of some kind along this section for cargo. Yeah, just like that. And we can put one over this way as well. Just like that. And if you're able to introduce this kind of stuff in your own builds, go ahead and do so, because it adds some character to your docks. Makes them look like they're really workable areas. It's just kind of hard to see without actually having everything built to see what we're doing here. So we'll bump up the speed all the way up to ×10. We'll just take a break while everything kind of gets built and constructed in the town. I think it's going pretty well right now. The food, not the food, but the tool shortage is somewhat concerning still. Because the shortage of tools, it will affect how well these guys are gathering and working at their jobs. So that's something to watch out for. Now, what I wouldn't mind, somehow fencing this little reed farm off. It's just a little far into the river for my liking. It just looks like it would be swept away almost instantly. So let's see if there's anything that can help us with that. I think I might have to go into the dock work area again. I kind of wish there was a half-high wall, because like these dock vents, they look pretty good, but I would prefer it if it was kind of half-high, just so that it would provide some cover from the elements. I mean, it might look okay to do. I mean, we can try it just real quick. Can always remove them later on. You know, the things with creative games is that you're able to try things just over and over until it looks right, and that's what I would encourage anyone to do, really. All right, 2 people making salt. Wait, this is a saltery. You don't make salt? I thought you made salt. This is a problem, because that's not what I wanted at all then. Let's go here and find salt all the way down in the S's. Salt. Salt works. Salt broiler. Dry goods. Okay, well, let's see if we can't find a salt broiler, because that's what I kind of need here. Melting house, metal smith, forge, foundry, village blacksmith, hardware store. Hardware store. Okay, that's a little weird looking. Let's see, let's go water wheel, sawmill, saw pit, cooper and things. I'm not seeing anything called a salt broiler. Is it in luxury items maybe? Tequila bar. You gotta have your tequila bar. Pubs, curing barn, mead, distillery, winery, brewery, coffee house, tavern, no? Coal furnace, greenhouse, stable, shore house, silkworm. Oh my goodness, what? Oh, salt works. So this is the salt works. This is the proper building for that. Wow. Is there not another one? A salt broiler? A salt mine? Huh. I do like the looks of this. This is kind of what I wanted to cap off this direction anyways. And it could work for us. So let's flatten out that little spot there. Just enough. And that should allow me to place that. Just like so. And it kind of fits. So we will get rid of you. I don't know why I placed you without actually reading what you did. So that can go away. Alright, back to full-time speed. There we go. There we go. So I think at this point you guys know the plan of everything. And I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead a little ways. Maybe a few in-game years, since we have so, little amount of people running around. And what I want to do is come back for more of a detail pass, because I think last episode we skipped over the detailing and worked more on the buildings. And this time I want to do the opposite. I want to do all the buildings in the first half and then just detail out the rest. So here we go. Alright, let's go ahead and start detailing all of this stuff out here for about 5-10 minutes or so. Let's also, I guess, cover what all that we built off camera. Now, the downtown area here, I guess you could call it a downtown area. It's where the market is anyways, and the church and our wonderful town hall. You know, I wanted some more row homes and something a little bit taller just around kind of this edge and to fill in the gap between these two tall buildings. And also I built our first real good two-story building as well, the medieval kind of corner piece here. And we'll be detailing around this just to make it look like it fits in a little bit better. I don't like how there is this green kind of line surrounding a lot of these areas. So what we're going to be doing, first off, is repaving a lot of the roads around this area because this is supposed to be the nicer kind of district. We will be going ahead, going to some ghost images and some basic tiles. And what I want to do is simply put a surrounding layer of brick tiles next to the main 2-wide path that we have going along in most directions, and that will kind of tidy the edges up. And not only that, I want to go ahead and use some stone squares as the main road tile. Now luckily there is, you know, a road underneath this, and so really it's not going to affect, you know, people's movement speed or anything like that, but it will just cover up the gravel here on this side and just make it look a little bit more clean and proper, which I think will work in our interest. Now, sadly, you know, you can really only do this one tile at a time. There's no way to just drag a line of this stuff out. Otherwise, we would have to kind of just delete the road and replace it with this stone variant. But even then, that would still generate that line of dirt that I'm trying to avoid at this point. So all the double wide roads are getting repaved. Something like this. I might leave that a little patchy, or we'll just kind of fade it out a little bit there. And we'll grab our brick again. Make sure that's all nice and tidy. Added some dock along the salt kind of area there. And you can see you can just use these textures to just kind of fill in these dead areas. Just clean up the edges a little bit. Sadly, it looks like that just didn't look good. We could do that though. And that's fine. And we just want this along the edge of the road, and then we will use other items and material to kind of finish that off. But this is just going to give us that nice clean line all the way along before we try to detail out some different effects, you know, like trees, bushes, barrels, fences. It's the little things that really make the village feel very detailed. Because right now it might still look pretty good, but the kind of advanced layering of items, I think, is that just extra little bit that we'll need. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Fairly clean. And we'll also, you know, of course, build some fences, I think, around the marketplace as well, just so it has a nice little break in certain areas, not all along the edge. Click, 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 click. And I accidentally misplaced a tile. There we go. Now, you guys, I would suggest kind of pre-planning your tile sets ahead of time. Try and use the natural road tool as much as possible. Doing this is fine, but really is probably not the most efficient way to get this look. Okay, so we get all that. Let's continue this out this way just a little bit, because this is kind of the final double wide path. Now the other side of the river I think we'll leave as is. It's pretty much set. This over here isn't really bothering me. This is a little bit more production anyways, and so it's allowed to be a little dirty looking. Oh, wow, we're at the food limit. That's interesting. Let's bump up the limit to about 20,000 and go from there. Because, you know, the more you can stockpile that food and hold it for a rainy day when your population actually catches up to it, the better. In fact, we go into our town hall here and look at some of the graphs. You can see this is our current population graph. We have a nice, smooth, slow increase right now, which is perfect. If you look over the past 10 years, it's been a little sporadic. Some people have died off. The past 100 years, it's pretty rough. It's spiking. All right, so 10 years. If you look at food here, you can see kind of where we're looking at in terms of food production and consumption. So, you know, obviously, I think this was the major famine that we had, and then we've been kind of skirting by, but recently it's really kind of skyrocketed back up, and we've been doing pretty well on that front. So, oh, looks like a whole bunch of people are dying of old age. They are living a nice, healthy, long life here in Black Ridge. So we'll leave that. Yeah, I'm liking this. This is pretty cleaned up area. Now we'll go ahead and also grab some fences. I like the fieldstone fence. It's a nice look to it for sure. But this one actually might call for the higher variant, because I want to try and hide a little bit of this production yard compared to everything else. So I think that will work. Boom, boom. Okay, so the corner piece is there, so boom, boom, boom. Now, sadly, a lot of these items that we're placing down, since they're ghost material, or people are going to be walking through it, that doesn't bother me too much. But without making it a ghost material, we can't really place it down this close to other items. And so you kind of have to sacrifice a little bit of realism for the overall quality. Need to add some bricks here. Just like so. And we'll do it there, and we'll let the wall kind of naturally kind of break this section up as soon as that is underway. In fact, we'll go ahead and bump this up to about 2 times speed. There we go, and start worrying about the other fences. So, ghost items here. And really, it's always up to you guys how much detail, you know, you want to put into these things, because it can be, you know, time consuming for the most part. So let's just go ahead and seal off every corner with this long fence variant. And I think it should leave a gap here and there. If not, if it doesn't look good, I might have to kind of manually place the gaps around and fill it in. But we won't know until a little bit later on, I think, in that regard. And some trees, possibly. We can do that. Our reserve of stone is low. I'm liking that. That's a pretty decent looking tree here. So we can place a couple of these down. You can see that I put a hedgerow around our town hall. Cleans that edge up a little nice and makes it, you know, have some greenery elements. It always looks good. Good idea to do. Put that there. Generally, these beginning trees on this list are kind of the default ones. And they tend to blend in my opinion, the best with the surrounding area. So, you know, a couple pine trees as well. I feel like Bob Ross. Just a little bit while placing these things. There we go. And just one back there. Can I fit anything else in the town a little bit? Probably not until later. Yeah, you can see this fence here is causing a bit of an issue, so I have to manually cover that up. This one's fine, and this one here, you know, I would like that gap to be clear, so we'll have to fix that. This one's okay. The other one probably won't be. Here's that stone wall going up, and we can make this into a nice plaza just by simply just tiling that with some brick. You know, it's right in front of the church. You can put either a statue here if you have the materials for such a thing. Fountains, things of that nature. Can look pretty nice in such a place. In fact, let's see what fountains look like. Or this is base for trees, actually. You can see what all you can do there. Let's grab an actual fountain, though. That would be better. Here they are. It's either extremely fancy or just a pool of water. Not much variety in between those two, it looks like. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have any statue marker. Ooh, jade statues look pretty boss, though. A lot of variety in them. Decorative cross. You can get some flags. You know, if you wanted a flag for your town. Looks like they're all real flags, so it's a little weird looking. Anyways, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave you guys with, you know, just a nice little overview of the overall town. You guys can give me your feedback in the comments down below. In fact, I encourage you to do so. We will be moving on to a new village next episode, so stick around for that as we go ahead and start making farms and things of that nature. And hopefully you guys like this video enough to subscribe to my channel for more creative goodness. Check out my other videos if you haven't done so already, and I will see you all next time.